Strong social ties are a matter of life and death. They can increase people's chances of survival by 50%. That's hardwired into humans. Social interaction provides one of the most powerful reward stimuli to the brain. On the other hand, social loss can be experienced in the brain a lot like physical pain. Amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, the need to restore social connection is critical, but how can it be done in a safe and sustained way? Consider this a test. 2% of the population can hold 90% of all viral particles. That tiny proportion of people is the biggest risk for spreading the infection. As vaccines roll out, those super spreaders still create a lot of risk. Unvaccinated people make up the majority of people across hundreds of counties in the US. For those who are vaccinated, the effectiveness for people who are older and people who are immunocompromised may be unclear. And while today's variants don't seem resistant to most of the current vaccines, that could quickly change. So as society brings back social bonds, the risks aren't gone. That means one tool will remain critical: testing. Consider Slovakia. With nationwide testing, COVID numbers dropped 58% within just 1 week. But a key reason for the dramatic drop was the type of test: a rapid antigen test.
Antigens are actually proteins that are inside or on the surface of the virus. And in the case of most antigen tests, most of them are looking for the nucleocapsid protein.
By looking for this abundant protein, rapid antigen tests can spot the most transmissible infections, which is different from the common PCR tests.
A PCR test can stay positive long after somebody is no longer infectious. So the average person might be infectious for, say, 6 or 8 days, but the average PCR test will then stay positive for another 2 weeks.
Antigen tests, on the other hand, can detect over 90% of cases that lead to onward transmission.
It will only be positive when that individual is actually shedding enough virus to be likely to spread to other people.
Back to Slovakia. In 1 week, antigen tests identified contagious people who were then isolated. That's far less people impacted than if the test had flagged anyone with COVID-19 traces, while still providing a massive drop in cases. Of course, the Slovakia study is only so helpful. There, a trained staff of 40,000 soldiers tested a country of around 5.5 million people. But top-down testing is not the only option. What is possible on a mass scale for every individual American is regular home antigen testing.
Any test that gives you a result right there in your own home increases our ability to control this virus.
One weekly test with just 50% participation is able to reduce outbreaks and help bring back social connections.
By giving individuals ready access to a test is giving them ready access to information and knowledge about what's going on inside of their body. It's a very simple act that gives you a lot of assurances that you are negative that day and you're safe to go out and mingle with people who might be vulnerable.
Regular home testing with a rapid antigen test like QuickView can give control to people ready to reconnect, and that's a good reason to celebrate.